Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with Dylan, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost see, I glossed to we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Niggas died at 65. Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering, black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do it. So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? He $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God or Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You already know the vibes, man. We about to kick it off with some fire. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel, man. So, brother, big Hollywood power. This is the Wake and Bake. Let me know where y'all at and what y'all smoking on this grand rising. Let's get it, man. It's a beautiful day to be Aboriginal.
Got a full five and a drum, got a full five in the street.
I sold my heart right to the streets and I can't play with that. This shit that I did for the streets, I'm not gonna talk about that. I bought my youngins a new 40, told them play with that. So when them niggas spin the black, how you gonna play with that? Got a full five with a new drum, got a new vibe in the streets. Lay down on the back blocks and I died in the streets. Full five with a new drum, got a new vibe in the streets. Lay down on the back blocks and I died in the streets. Body's on my conscience and I won't let it. Paranoia taking over, I won't let it. Out your right mind, you won't sober. Well, the streets took a toll on you, but you a soldier. This shit I seen too many times before. Drugs taking over, they won't let them go. They make a wrong move, fuck it, we gon' let it blow. He just let me know that niggas' minds ain't right. Only killing for protection. My young niggas got obsessions. For that clout, they gon' press him. Consumed by the hate, another snake that's gon' bless him. He's supposed to be your brother, but he's screaming out that slime shit. Got a blood oath with my family, that's my tie. Y'all put your faith in me, and now we got it, we gon' all shine. And that's my word to the streets. 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 That's my word, yeah. I sold my heart right to the streets and I can't play with that. This shit that I did for the streets, I'm not gonna talk about that. I bought my youngins a new 40, told them play with that. So when the niggas spin the black, how you gonna play with that? Got a full five with a new drum, got a new vibe in the streets. Lay down on the back blocks and I died in the streets. Full five with a new drum, got a new vibe in the streets. Lay down on the back blocks and I died in the streets.
Father God, first I ask for forgiveness. I ask that you look past our times that we have fell short. Father God, for that one who do not know your love, Father God, I know that is my purpose to be a lighthouse in your grace. Wherever you lead my steps, whatever obstacle or hardships to come, I pray that you give us strength in the face of the enemy. Father God, thank you for listening to my soul. Amen.
I sold my heart right to the streets and I can't play with that. This shit that I did for the streets, I'm not gonna talk about that. I bought my youngins a new 40, told them play with that. So when them niggas spin the black, how you gon' play with that? Got a full five with a new drum, got a new vibe in the streets. Man down on the back blocks that I died in the streets. Full five with a new drum, got a new vibe in the streets. Man down on the back blocks that I died in the streets.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. Hollywood.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair by numb is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the
man. Y'all already know the vibes, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I want to say peace and blessings. Hopefully, y'all energies is right. Hopefully, everybody's safe, productive, grand rising. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, everybody busy for the day, man. I want to shout out to everybody that's tuning in, man. Hey, once again, man, shout out to everybody that's tuning in, man. We got 58 people in here. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the brothers and sisters that's not able to comment and chat. I appreciate y'all for just tuning in and watching. Shout out to everybody else, man, that took their time out to comment and in the live stream. So I do want to kind of take my time out and shout out some of the brothers and sisters that did that. Shout out to Albo Indian, MSTA, African versus more. All right. Shout out to my brother Root Word. Shout out to my sister TT Portier. Shout out to TT Portier. It's good to see you in here. Shout out to Empress Goddess Namas. Shout out to you, sister. Appreciate you for coming in. Tony Forlow, Empress Freedom Feather, Pop Reed. Make sure y'all show some love to Pop Reed, man. Been one of the elders in the chat. Shout out to Gretchen Hams as well. My sister, my elder, Gretchen Hams, another elder in the chat. Make sure y'all show some love to the elders. All right. Make sure you show some love to Copper Color Goddess. Shout out to you in the chat. We got Jaguar Clock. Who else we got in here? Samaj B25, CC the Boss. We got 707 Nautical in the building. Eastside 1415 in the building. Eastside 1415 in the building. Shout out to Don Philly in the building. Don Philly in the building. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis. Shout out to Snake God. Carmen Shabazz, the real mother of nature. Appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to Copper Tone FOH. Shout out to you too. Shout out to Craig Lloyd. Shout out to A Dots versus V Dots. A Dots, V Dots. I need some of that black digital dollar merch, gang. I need some black digital dollar merch. Shout out to Shamel Thompson as well. And shout out to Daz Hosen. And shout out to Chief Crazy Overstanding. Hopefully that's everybody. Hopefully I didn't get to miss anyone else in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that's coming through to support the channel, man. I appreciate all the support. I do, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Shout out to Lewis Luck in the building. Shout out to Lewis Luck and shout out to Ghetto Child Clinic. Ghetto Child Clinic is in the building as well. Shout out to E-Knots. Shout out to E-Knots in the building, man. Listen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but y'all probably have, or maybe y'all haven't. But this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all been getting 3 weeks of heat. This is my 21-day live stream in a row. My 21 live streams in a row. No breaks, nothing but heat. Shout out to J.R. Bill in the building. Shout out to Don't Do It in the building. Listen, man, I came with 25 days of heat. 21 days of heat. I don't even know if y'all even notice, even respect it. Nobody comes with that type of heat every day, man. 2021, I gave y'all 211 days of fire. Hell, it's only 365 days out the year. You know what I'm saying? I gave y'all 211. I went and counted, looked at my analytics and my shit on my channel. Last year I gave y'all 211. Excuse me. It says the Wake and Bake Show. It says the Wake and Bake Show. Y'all got to support the channel, man. I'm telling y'all. When it's all said and done, y'all got to support motherfuckers like Chief Holiday, A1, App TV. When it's all said and done, it'll never be another A1. It'll never be another Chief Holiday. It'll never be another App TV, man. We got to start supporting our brothers and giving them their flowers and the love while they're here. Shout out to Patrick Gabriel coming in the building, man. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to support the channel, y'all already know. But yeah, man, we got to start showing love to our brothers that have been putting in this work for consistent years. You know what I mean? They're trying to wake up our people. Shout out to True One in the building. You know what I'm saying? It'll never be another App TV. The way App TV formats and the way he built organically, the way he linked in with certain figures, You know what I'm saying? He linked in with Jam Master Jay. You know what I'm saying? He was linking in with certain other. There will never be another Ab TV. Shout out to Chief Holiday. Hell, it wouldn't even be an Ab TV without a Chief Holiday. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the brothers you see with YouTube channels talking about Indian, Aboriginal, Flat Earth came through Chief Holiday. We got to be real. You know what I'm saying? It'll never be another root word, sorry to say. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Root Word. It'll never be another root word. I got to start respecting the brothers while they here. Respect their craft, the information that they provide. You know what I'm saying? It'll never be another A1. I just want to get that out the way. A1 literally changed the narrative from the 1,000 gold head, the Johnny Aborigine, which is the black so-called Africans meeting and mixing in with the Native Americans, and that's how you become a black Indian. That whole narrative been put to doo-doo and threw in the trash since A1. A1 single-handedly gave us the blueprint and the format to the way how we look at Aboriginal Indian information. The reason we say that the first Indians, the first Aboriginals were so-called Negroes is because of A1. So we got to start giving credit to brothers like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to start giving credit to brothers like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers who've been around dropping this information consistently. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to them. A1 Chief and goddamn Ab TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to give myself any pats on the back. I'm just here to work for you guys, man. I'm here to serve you guys. I'm here to serve you. But since I'm here, man, we on 20 days of heat, man. Hopefully we can get some people to support the channel today. Hopefully we can get some people to support the channel today. We about to get into some build, man. I got some shit lined up for you guys. I got some shit lined up. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit lined up. Y'all ready? Drop them fire emojis. If y'all ready, drop them fire emojis.
When you advertise with Google, search ads are just the beginning. Your ads appear across.
All right, before we even get into the build lined up, we'll get into that in just a second. Hey, if y'all ready, just let me know if y'all ready, man. I just need to know if y'all ready, man. Drop them fire emojis, support the channel, thumb up the video. Let's get 70 likes in the building real quick. Who we got in here today? We had a few people support the channel today. Okay. That's all right. Shout out to Sierra. She said for supporting the $2 challenge for me and somebody else. So she sent $4 in. She said she want to help somebody else support the goddamn channel. That's what I like, Sister Sierra. When they ain't got it, you pull them up by their bootstraps. You understand me? We all we got. Shout out to Sierra for the double cash out. You understand me? For supporting the channel. Shout out to Don't Do It. Sending in a $2 donation. You see what I'm saying? Supporting the channel. He says, for straight crack, you cooking. You already know, fam. You already know, fam. We come from that, man. We used to cook up the dangerous and the harmful, you know what I mean? Now we cooking up that good shit for them. You know what I'm saying? It's going to feed the soul. You know what I'm saying? We're going to cook up that shit that's going to feed the motherfucking soul, fam. That's what we're going to get into today. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hopefully y'all enjoying y'all fucking selves. We're gonna get into some of these world fairs. Let's look at this shit, man. We ain't even gonna hold y'all up no more. Let's get straight into it.
Welcome.
You already know it's all love. Attention is one. You know it's love, big bro.
As for the topic of my video today, I want to discuss something that I've acquired. Very exciting. Much memorabilia from the World's Fairs still exists, and if you have any, please feel free to send it to my P.O. Box. I've recently acquired a DVD, or just a disc, with about 100 World's Fairs books, all digitized. I don't have a disc thing on my computer, but I look forward to getting one soon and sharing those books with you. In the meantime, this arrived in the mail from the Colombian Souvenir Institute. and it's a notebook. Seems innocent enough. Of course, a World's Fair notebook. And I've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks now. Still not fully organized and unpacked. But we can look at history on the internet all day long. Photos and historical narratives they give us. But perhaps the best thing would have been to talk to people. Most of them are gone at this point. But the next best thing might be to get a hold of things. Souvenirs like this, various tech, even snatching up some buildings if one could afford to, in areas that have not been sanitized by the controllers. I would love to have a building from the old world that we could go through, even excavate, revealing the levels underneath. Something I've been talking about with the channel Streets of Tartaria. Excellent channel. I suggest checking him out. Boots on the ground, research on at least 30 towns in Utah, all showing examples of mud flood. Utah, of course, being such a new state, such a recent addition, we are told, to our timeline, and yet we have the evidence of mud flood or reset burying wondrous buildings, very similar to what we find everywhere. But back to my little notebook. What prompted this little notebook, or me to acquire it, goes back to this World's Fair passport. I feel like I had done much research into the World's Fairs by the time I saw this photo, and I think all of us were taken by this photo. Here, her name seems to be Frances Houston, and one thing.
Man, these world fairs just trigger a whole different analysis of questions that we have to propose, man. It's just like, yo, once we understand the lie that they told us, let's re-examine the bill from yesterday, the Philadelphia World's Fair 1860s, 1876. They said they built 200 structures similar to the art museum in downtown Philly, and that's probably one of those smallest or the littlest structures that they built. So they built 200 structures like the art museum in less than 3 years in 1876. That's the lie. Then once we start scratching in at the lie of why they're lying, you start understanding that they're hiding that your ancestors in America had already built these structures. They was already thriving. There's no reason for the Expos unit to be going around constructing all these structures around the United States for a World's Fair in temporary use when you had people living in log cabins and tents during the 1876 time frame. You had people living in log cabins and tents, but you're going to build a perfectly good concrete and metal structures to destroy them. See, that's when we have to start critically thinking at this point. You know what I mean? My bad. I didn't mean to stop it.
Thing that always intrigued our community was the eye color. Only 3 options: blue, brown, or gray. Very interesting. And we know about the orphan.
Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Shout out to my brother Libra Son for supporting the channel, man. Shout out to Libra Son for supporting the channel. Look at all these white slaves right here on the motherfucking thing. And you act like these people weren't coming in. See, you got to understand, man. They weren't calling these kids slaves because these white kids slaves, even though they was white slaves. You got to understand, our people has never been a brutal type of people. That's why we don't go around colonizing the fucking world now. You don't see no black colonizers just running around colonizing Asia and just taking off. Listen, we don't do that. We still a peaceable people, even through our most harmful and negative times. We're still a peaceable people. Seriously. You see what I'm saying? Man, let's get back to it, man.
We know about the incubator babies at the World's Fairs. I even showed a clip in a past video with Jerry Seinfeld.
Hold on. Incubator babies. Anybody heard about incubator babies? Where they're making babies in an incubator?
We know about the orphans. We know about the incubator.
Hey, how the fuck? First of all, one already said that white people was created here. Are you telling me that the government and that the world science and the archaeology has found the old building that was an incubator building that used to create white babies here, and then they start using it and re-engineered it Is this some old technology? That's the question we have to ask.
And we know about the orphans. We know about the incubator babies at the World's Fairs. I even showed a clip in a past video with Jerry Seinfeld proclaiming that his father was an incubator baby at Coney Island, New York. And the interviewer laughed, and Seinfeld was like, "No, I'm serious. He really was." And what a strange thing. When I saw this photo with this scared looking girl, I think, holding this.
Look at that lady. That's a test tube baby right here on the screen. This is a test. This is one of them old incubated ass, microwaved ass babies. This is a test tube.
Chalkboard, this crusty.
Her ass was put in a microwave.
Number 5077. I thought, what the hell is the World's Fair? This is way too intrusive. Even for today, if you went to Disneyland, you had this passport and you were taking photos and holding something like you're a convict or you're being controlled. You no longer have sovereignty. And this girl does not look excited to be at this stupid World's Fair. And why do I say stupid World's Fair? Because it looks like the most boring fair ever.
Right. Who the fuck goes to a fair with no rides? All you doing is just looking at old buildings and shit. It's because they was admiring the ancient science and they was planning on destroying them. That's why. That's why. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put my thumbnail up. The next build I do is gonna be pre-America, before the World's Fairs, and I'm gonna show you that the same buildings that you see in the World's Fair is the same buildings that you see behind Montezuma in the Smithsonian rendition painting of him. Right behind Montezuma in the 1500s, you will see a rendition painting. I might have to pull that up in a sec. Seriously.
Besides a Ferris wheel occasionally, it's really just hundreds of acres of breathtaking buildings, million-square-foot buildings, hundreds of feet tall, and the narrative tells us they're temporary. We in this community don't think so. But regardless, even if they were permanent or temporary, it doesn't.
Hey man, shout out to my brother Lieberson for supporting the channel too. By the way, I don't know if I shouted him out, but shout out to my brother Lieberson for supporting the channel, man, supporting the $2 challenge. Make sure everybody in the chat support the $2 challenge, man. It shouldn't be, you know what I mean, a big thing for you guys to support Big Guy Original Power platform, especially with the $2 challenge, man. That let Big Guy Original Power know that y'all enjoyed the live stream for my time and content. Like I said, we on 21 days of heat.
Doesn't help the cause.
Look at this image right here, by the way, we on 21 days of heat. But listen, look at this image. This is some shit that you will see in Atlantis, nigga. This look like Atlantis, nigga. You got a big ass statue with a nigga holding a spear and a flaming torch, nigga. In the middle of Chicago, nigga, and the dead homies. Look, you're looking at Chicago right now in the 1800s, man. Look at all these buildings that you see around there. These are the same buildings that you see behind Montezuma in the rendition painting. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to keep illustrating that so y'all understand. This is the same shit that you will see in Atlantis. And these same structural style buildings, these same architectural style buildings are in San Antonio. They're in San Diego. They're in San Francisco. They're in Nashville. They're in Boston. They're in Philadelphia. They're in Chicago. They're in Carolina. They're in Vegas. They're in Mexico. They're in tech. You know what I mean? They're every fucking where, man. Seriously. We got to start challenging these narratives. Fuck all this little shit. We know we the Indians, right? We know we the gods. We know we been here. Boom. We know genealogy. We been talking to grandma. Boom. We got that shit locked in. Boom. Genealogy locked in. Now it's time to figure out the ancient shit. That we can keep going back. Some niggas just be scared to go back because they don't know how to do that type of research. We're going back, man. Shout out to the niggas that's ready to go back and see what the fuck is really going on. Like, fuck the bullshit, gang. We not about to keep dealing with these fake ass lies. I'm not about to just let no white man tell me that they built 200, that they built motherfucking 200 of these type structures. These type motherfucking structures. These type motherfucking structures that they built all this shit within less than 2 years and then destroyed it all and just left this one building right here. Destroyed everything else around this bitch. All this, the electric walkways that they got over around here, they just, man, that's some bullshit. Who the fuck would build some shit that took all this goddamn time and money just to destroy that shit? That don't even make no fucking sense. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not taking it. You can't sell me that. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. You can't sell me them wolf tickets. I'm not eating that. And you got me fucked up. That's a lie. And then we got to be able to call a lie immediately and force them to tell the truth, man. This is what we're doing. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If y'all enjoy Big Guy Original Power, man, I'm good to see y'all in here, man. It's all love. Y'all be giving me the energy to go in on this shit, too.
For this boring.
So turn up in the chat, man. Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all enjoying the build, man.
Fair. Nobody seems impressed in the photos. Nobody's even looking at the buildings. And I have hypothesized that these are all the cause for this boring fair. Nobody seems impressed in the photos. Nobody's even looking at the buildings. And I have hypothesized that these old world's fairs could have been indoctrination camps, or could have been hubs for post-reset civilization. In these early time periods, these world's fairs going back to the 1850s, people are very well dressed, and the whole thing just doesn't make much sense. In this early time period, it'd be so difficult to travel and to lodge and to leave your country, to go to another country. The idea of a world's fair, up until the eventuality of the automobile, is unrealistic. And what led me to this, that I want to share with you guys today, was essentially this passport. And I found this passport, as I've mentioned before, on a Russian channel's video. I took a screenshot, and I think I lost that original screenshot. And I ended up combing the internet. And if any of you can help me, please do, for another passport like this. Surely if there's one, there had to have been many. I'm just noticing that this one has been canceled. Boom, it's been hit by a rubber stamp. 1899. And this here book that I want to show you today is 1897. So this is a couple years older even than this passport. And I was all over. I was trying to go through all different sites to find memorabilia. And finally I found this. And just as this passport offers us a clue onto how or what kind of feeling this fair is actually invoking in somebody, in this case, Francis, I thought surely other...
I'm gonna tell you the truth. The reason why people look so angry in them photos back in the 1800s and shit is because it took 30 minutes for that photo to actually work. Like when they took a picture, motherfucker had to stand there for down to 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour until it finished developing all the way, or could give a phantom look or a ghostly image, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, motherfucker be mad as hell standing there, man. That motherfucker probably, the beginning, she probably was smiling. Nigga, by the time that bitch got done developing, that's what the fuck she looked like. You see what I'm saying? By the time that motherfucker got done developing, that's what she looked like. Facts. That bitch was mad in a hole.
And somebody, in this case, Francis, I thought surely other little clues would give us some insight or lend to our already existing theories or ideas. Sorry if you can hear the wind in the background. Gusts of 60 miles an hour tonight. The wind makes you very tired. It seems to push on you, exhausting you. And sure enough, this book did lend a lot to these ideas. And I'm going to share this book. Originally, I wanted to share it in real time, just kind of flipping through the book and point a camera at it. But my webcam is not as good as my iPhone, so I just took some pictures instead, and we're just going to go through this book.
Hey, sidebar, because the dude going in right now. Sidebar, I'm going to break down the Statue of Liberty, too. the Statue of Liberty, I'm gonna break down that the whole base of the Statue of Liberty is a star fort, and it's built on top of a larger star fort that they flooded in. I'm gonna do a build on that. Y'all need to watch. I got some heat, man. Y'all need to be respectful.
Book. However, before we do that, real quick, I want to share something else pertaining to the World's Fair. In a past video, I will have told you the fact that my parents met at the World's Fair in Canada, in Quebec, and they were both working at the World's Fair. My mom, a local of Quebec, took a job at Belgium's World's Fair booth. In this booth, she was serving beer and I think waffles. Belgium is known for their wonderful waffles. It was not my mother's first time being at the World's Fair. She went when she was much younger, as a customer, as an attendee. And here she is, and here's her World's Fair passport. And I showed her this passport once, and that's when she told me she had a World's Fair passport. And people in the past had asked me if I thought...
So that's why he be having a little more extra knowledge in the way to dig into this information, because he grew up with parents that was involved in the World's Fair. You see what I'm saying? Hey, man, we gotta appreciate these honkies and billies that be coming with this type of information, challenging the narrative. When they people start challenging their own lives, that's when you know you own to something. And we done caught the lie.
The World's Fair was legitimate, especially the more recent ones. And yes, clearly, I believe that there really were worlds.
Hey, before we even continue, man, I need everybody, because I got a lot lined up for you guys. I need everybody to hit the like button, please. That's all I ask for you guys to do, is hit the like button and share the live stream, please. Just to hit the like button and share the live stream, please. I appreciate that. If we can get y'all to do that, man. If y'all enjoy the build, you can support the channel, feel free. But I need y'all to hit the like button and to share the live stream. Let's try to get 200 people in here by the hour marker.
The World's Fair was legitimate, especially the more recent ones. And yes, clearly, I believe that there really were World's Fairs. But this is 1967, and this is 1899. And I would like to examine the World's Fair, even of 67. To me, it looked very modern. It had that very 60s feel to it. The buildings, were they refacaded to give it a 60s look? I don't know. Something I haven't dug into and am reserving for the future. My mother attests that they built a lot of the monorails, and they even built an island. And to this day, they are still holding World's Fairs. Who is excited to go? I don't know. I just really wanted to share this. Clearly by 67, there was nothing unusual about the World's Fair. In fact, it seemed fun. So back to my book, 1897. We're just looking for clues of what these World's Fairs of the past really were. And I don't want to waste too much time going over the narrative. I suggest you watch some of my other World's Fair videos, and I have a playlist with some of them. Today, I just want to be open-minded, just have a little look at this notebook and see what it has to say. The Columbian Souvenir Institute Notebook. Okay, so are you given this, or must you buy this? Let's see. At institutes, where hundreds of points are given each day for 2 or 3 weeks. Hundreds of points each day. A carefully kept notebook is of vital importance. Why the hell is anything of vital importance at a World's Fair? Sorry. Just weird. A carefully kept notebook. And again, like I said, this lends to the indoctrination camp idea. That was just a random hypothesis of mine years ago. Not so random at all. I mean, it's just what the evidence seemed to point to. And hair? Vital importance. I mean, first of all, in most of these photos, we don't even see children, which is odd for a fair. It's mostly adults in nice clothes, strolling around aimlessly. And I could see talking to Frances here like that, and Frances looks like somebody's been telling her that she has to keep notes for hundreds of points each day, carefully, and this is vitally important. And poor Frances, how stressful. This fair, again, doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, the World's Fairs was institutional camps, and it was also the getting rid of the ancient evidence of a prior civilization, whether you want to call it the Tartary, or whether you want to call it the Atlantean, whether you want to call it the ancient Amaru. It's all the same shit. These are not World's Fairs; these are World's farewells. You know what I'm saying? These are world farewells. They getting rid of it like it's a goodbye ceremony to all these structures and shit. That's what it was, a farewell.
And in this instance, the holder of the notebook is a Jasmine Pearson. And mind you, this book is a couple years old.
On the dead homies, I know a black girl from where I'm from named Jasmine Pearson. You mean to tell me it's a honky name that? Come on, man. They got to do better than that. And they got some little white man right here standing there.
Older, 1897. Here, book is a Jasmine, and in this instant, dressful.
And they got a white man standing there.
This fair, again, doesn't sound fun. And in this instance, the holder of the notebook is a Jasmine Pearson. And mind you, this book is a couple years older. 1897. Here, Jasmine has the number 87-38 in Division C. Or is that a G? If such a book be kept systematically, it will be consulted afterwards. Very, very, very weird. This to me is like you'll get a grade before the term grade. You'll be consulted afterwards. If the book is kept systematically, because this is of vital importance. If it is not, what are the consequences? Otherwise not. So serious. In taking notes, give the gist in a few words. And then it has this Latin. And really interesting, I just freshly took these pictures, and look how it lets me highlight. And here I've looked up this Latin expression, and it's defined as a word to the wise is sufficient. Here we go. Really odd. Who has the luxury to look that up like I just did on the internet in this time period? And they would tell us everybody spoke Latin. And perhaps they did. Their writing was better. Their architecture was better. But I do think
Hold on, he's right. They wasn't just speaking Latin back then. Niggas was writing in English. Niggas had great architectures. Niggas was speaking English and had good architecture over here. What the fuck is going on? Something's missing out of our history that they're not explaining. I think we are at the beginning of the after effects of a reset. I believe we recently just went through a reset, and that's why we're having trouble remembering our ancient shit. It's now starting to click back into our motherfucking scalps. Now we're starting to dig into that bag again, understanding who we truly are. There's a little piece of time missing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's starting to click. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's starting. Something ain't right, y'all.
Look that up like I just did on the internet in this time period. And they would tell us everybody spoke Latin, and perhaps they did. Their writing was better, their architecture was better. But I do think all of this is an afterthought. If you've watched my past videos, I don't think all of this would be constructed for a fair. I don't think they could build it, and I don't think they would. Not for this. Look at this. This is the main notebook for the Columbia Exposition. And seeming as creepy as this passport, same time period, I'm not sure if this particular passport of Francis Houston is the Chicago World's Fair, or is it the St. Louis? I'm not sure. But this clearly is the Chicago World's Fair, 1897, copyright down here. And here, just to show you pretty much the whole book, some pictures at the beginning, a little entry that we'll read here in a moment, and then some entries at the end, and really the bulk of this notebook looking like this. 90% of every page in this notebook is this page right here, just a copy of this. And here, something has been written. There's only one entry, only one.
I ain't even gonna lie, that little music in the background low key threw me off, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking around in the motherfucking house and shit. Like, what the fuck is that sound? Damn, that shit threw me off. No bullshit. Hell no.
In this whole book, and this is it, she wrote her name on the front, as we just saw. And here she wrote one passage, and maybe ran away. If a child can see, hear, touch, and handle, he will begin to talk. And here, as you can see, these are the pages that you're supposed to take notes in. The week, the day, the hour, the subject, the instructor. Come on. This backs up everything that I've said in the past. And in the past, it was more speculative. And
now, yeah, at first, when I first started hearing about these world fairs, it was speculative, but they made some good points. There was some overwhelming evidence. Once you start looking into it more, it becomes a more abstract fact and picture that you're looking at. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Lurel Grassroots for the Cash App donation. He said for an Aboriginal sister named Edmona Lewis created World Fair art. Shout out to that information, man. Shout out to Lurel Grassroots for letting us know that it was an Aboriginal sister, Edmona Lewis, that created World Fair art, the artwork that you see, some of the designs and shit. Shout out to Son of California as well. Appreciate y'all for donating to the channel, man. Shout out to Lurel, man. Shout out to Son of California. He said, for keep speaking facts, fam. You know I'm going to keep dropping that heat, man. Shout out to Son of California for the donation, man. We appreciate all the support. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Don't let these brothers and sisters be the only ones support the channel. Just a $2 channel, man. We got 112 people in here. Share the live stream. This is going to be one of the ones. This is going to be one of the ones. But yeah, man, that shit crazy.
No, it is not. What is this? This is the World's Fair notebook, instructor, subject, the importance of taking meticulous notes. So this is not a fair. Hundreds of topics per day. Instructor, hissy. There's a term called having a hissy fit. Maybe this is the original hissy. Subject, primary work. No great innovation, nothing worldly. Primary, boring ass work. And here it seems like child raising may have been the first subject. Maybe they strolled into the incubator baby rooms. And this is the note she took from what she heard. And by now she's not feeling well. Her writing was very nice and on the line here, and now she's starting to dip below the line, uncertain. And what do they say here? Use a page for each recitation. This book is large enough, and paper is cheap. Really? We have to let them know this? This is like some indoctrination just within the instructions. I often found in school that within the instructions were the indoctrination. Even within a test, the brainwashing was encoded. Paper is cheap. If nothing is gleaned from the recitation worth noting on this page, leave it blank. A blank page is often the most truthful record. Again, subtle indoctrination. When the heading above is filled out, the instructor and teacher are charged with the hour, and this page shows up the account. By writing in the page, continued from, or continued on, each subject may be conveniently read in a connected whole. The instructor and teacher are charged with the hour, and the page shows up the account. What are they talking about? I think we know. I mean, I would like to buy a notebook at the World's Fair with directions to the concessions and the Ferris wheel and amusements. Here we can see the manufacturer's building from Machinery Hall. What a complete mess. Look at all this mud. I mean, let's just forego a building and pave the damn place.
The reason you see all that mud is because they just dug up that goddamn building that you seen and trying to clear it out. And then invited the world to come see this magnificent shit that they lied and said that they built, knowing that they just dug it up. The railroad tracks, the fucking building, the tower, everything was covered up in mud already. Facts.
So the participants aren't walking in the mud? No, we need to build 200 buildings, but we can't pave the grounds? Not even with a temporary sidewalk? Some gravel, perhaps? Here is the electricity building. And the fish building. We don't often see the fish building. She seems to be overlooked by all the other wonders. Very important to have a fish building rising vertically. Perhaps they put the exotic fish up here in these cupolas. The administration building, we know it well. And again, I want to stress that you can't make temporary plaster that will hold up in the water. The horticultural building, this will have been glass, like a big greenhouse. Anything but temporary materials. I mean, the point is, we know they lie to us. We know this is just a bunch of BS, that these buildings aren't temporary. So that just makes us suspicious of this book. And this book now becomes an excellent clue that we've never seen in this community before. Here, teaching about the different branches of government. And they found this very important to put in the World's Fair book. Here, a chart of political parties. Very interesting. We have the federal and the anti-federal.
What? The federal and the anti-federal? That's interesting. Anti means like I'm not federal, nigga. Like we don't fuck with the federal. Like I don't fuck with the feds, nigga. I think I'm anti-federal now, nigga. Shit, I would have been with the anti-federal, nigga. What the fuck you talking about?
1816, disorganized. Era of good feeling. 1826, National Republican Party. 1832,
National Republican Party. The National Republican Party? Interesting.
the Whig Party. Liberty and free.
The Whig Party. Y'all remember the white wigs? The Whigamores? The Whigamores? The Whig Party? Is that the Whigamores? The George Washington and all them niggas? Oh shit. He touching on some shit right now. Let me run that back just a little bit. Damn.
1826, National Republican Party. 1832, the Whig Party, Liberty and Free Soil Party, and here they wrote No Nothing Party.
The Liberty and hold on, bro. The Liberty and Free Soil Party. Oh, hell no. This is an indoctrination / motherfucking colonization camp. This is a fucking colonization camp, y'all. Damn. The Know Nothings, y'all remember the build I did on the Know Nothing Party. If y'all ain't seen that, go back to one of my builds, type in Aboriginal Power featuring Hawk School. It's one of the greatest builds we did. Got about 10,000 views, probably like in 2019, 18. Go check out that classic build. We talked about the Know Nothings. Damn. This is an indoctrination / colonization camp party. Why you think they asked all these nations to come in? They was doing a bid on who they was going to allow to start taking over. Why you think they had 32 different nations invited to the World's Fair? Come on, man. It's starting to make much, much more sense.
And Free Soil Party, and here they wrote No Nothing Party. And again, in 1853, Disorganized. How weird. And then Abraham Lincoln.
Hold on, you ain't just gonna skip by that. Nigga, in 1953, they planned on the disorganization. They telling you this is their blueprint. Oh man, this is a guidebook to what they had planned. Let's run that shit back a little bit, right? So listen, in 1832, they said they was gonna get down with they was gonna try to move the National Republican Party, right? You see what I'm saying? And got down in 1854, they said they were gonna start the Whigmore Party, right? They already planned the Civil War in 1881 to 1865, right there at the bottom.
Oh, Nothing Party. And again.
And then in 1853, you got the disorganization. That's what they planned. This is when what happened in 1853 that's so critical? The disorganization? No. I mean, yes, but guess what we call it now? The Reconstruction period. Oh my God.
And in 1853, Disorganized. How weird. And then Abraham Lincoln. After Disorganized. Just a blank here. And the black indicates parties in power. So here it's anti-federal. It begins.
The black shows who's in power. And look what it starts off with. Look what it starts off with. The anti-federal. That's us. That's us. We was in power. It said the largest black line is the ones that shows who in power. The black lines do. The first line right here that you see right here is the anti-black, the anti-federal. That's that right there. That's us. It's just showing that we was in power. They was trying to destroy our shit, gang. Like, it don't get no motherfucking clearer than that, gang. Game over. The gig is up. Boom. The gig is up. Y'all need to support the channel. If y'all enjoying this build, support the channel, man. Support the channel, man. We ain't even got, man, we just getting started, man. We about halfway through. Drop the fucking bomb, man. It's over with. Who the fuck will be the anti-federal? Come on, man. The people, man. That's us, nigga. And it says, look how much power. Look, that's who was running shit. Let's run that back to make sure we heard that right.
Black indicates parties in power. So here.
Blacks indicate parties in power, nigga. So what do you see right here? The anti-social. That's us. Who was in power the most? Us, nigga. That's the largest black line on this motherfucking paper. Is us, nigga. Facts.
Here it's anti-federal. It begins federal. And here's the second page in the book. How to Study. A book for self-improvement in school and home. Cloth-bound. Price $1.
What? Nigga, that's an indoctrination book. Listen to him.
It begins federal. And here's the second page in the book. How to Study. A book for self-improvement.
How to Study, a book for self-improvement. A book for self-improvement. Nigga, that sound like some indoctrination shit.
In school and home.
And it's for your school and home, nigga. They just want you to be indoctrinated reading that shit while you're at home. You go to school and read that indoctrinated shit. Shit. Less than 2 years, you got a whole motherfucking city indoctrinated off of World's Fair. Why you think they rid around the fucking world doing it? Come on, man.
Cloth bound, price $1. So somebody had to buy this book, this notebook, which is mostly blank, as I said. This book aims.
Man, let's run that back. We need to run that back about 30 seconds, man.
About the different branches of government. And they found this very important to put in the World's Fair book. Here, a chart of political parties. Very interesting. Here we have the federal and the anti-federal. 1816, disorganized. Era of good feeling. 1826, National Republican Party. 1832, the Whig Party. Liberty and Free Soil Party. And here they wrote Know Nothing Party. And again, in 1853, disorganized. How weird. And then Abraham Lincoln, after disorganized. Just a blank here. And the black indicates parties in power. So here it's anti-federal, it begins federal. And here's the second page in the book. How to Study, a book for self-improvement in school and home. Cloth bound, price $1. So somebody had to buy this book, this notebook, which is mostly blank, as I said. This book aims to give students suggestions and directions as to the manner and method of study. In the first 40 pages, it gives general suggestions on developing an active, healthful, vigorous mind and points out the evil effects of bad habits, of study, and of thought. Unbelievable.
See, see, you don't even peep it. It's telling you to get rid of your habits and your bad habits. A bad habit could have been you practicing your spiritual shit, building pyramids, going to the mounds, growing your food, obviously bathing. You know what I'm saying? That could have been a bad habit. They could have said, man, y'all taking too many baths. That's a bad habit. Y'all need to work on, you know what I'm saying? That's an indoctrination book, gang. Fuck, we gonna have these people come and tell us how to live our shit.
The World's Fair. Next, it takes up the common branches separately, giving suggestions on the method of studying each. The last part is devoted to character building or the development of the man. Unbelievable here. Character building. Honey, let's go to the World's Fair. Well, what are they?
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, honey, let's go to the World's Fair. Honey, let's go to the World's Fair. What are they doing? They got an indoctrination process. They teach us how to become better characters of men. The fuck out of here. Nigga, that don't even sound like no fair. That's a farewell. This is the great world's farewell to get rid of the goodbye of your evidence of your ancient civilization. That's what that is. Unbelievable. We need to start there. Hashtag unbelievable. Shout out to Gretchen. Everybody in the chat, hashtag unbelievable, man. Share the live stream and hashtag unbelievable. On Twitter, Instagram, tag me too as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If y'all feeling this bill, man, support the channel. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Robert. Robert said, thank you. He sent the $2 cash donation. He said, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, big brother Robert, for supporting the channel and being here gathering this information. And hopefully you share the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, let's finish this shit, man. Let's think about it. Who the hell would want to go to one of these world fairs? Go look at these old-ass buildings, right? Walk around in mud. Get a pamphlet to teach you how to build character and suggestions on how to quit your bad habits. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that?
From the author's preface, we quote as follows. Many people acquire knowledge, few get wisdom. The manner and method of acquisition is of great importance. The faculty and acquiring and committing is not one of the highest order. In fact, it is often found in inverse ratio to the power to originate, apply, and utilize, and the wrong habit of acquiring knowledge may do more harm to the student than the knowledge itself benefits. So here it seems like they're telling us to keep a closed mind, that if you don't learn their way, you may as well not learn at all. You could
Right. That's exactly what they saying. That's wild, gang. Wait till you see this other video I got lined up.
do more harm by acquiring knowledge the wrong way. Basically, you have to go through them. You have to do the way that they tell you, or you're wasting your time. Let's skip down a little bit. This book should be in the hands of 3rd, 4th, and 5th reader pupils. A lesson assigned them as one class each day, and a general recitation given for its thorough discussion. Special rates to teachers and county superintendents desiring large quantities to supply pupils. So really working in cahoots with the inheritors of the city, or counties and their superintendents or controllers. Here in the back of the book, we have a little math. The math they found was important to put in this book. This is really weird. Left blank. Who is the governor? Term? How many years? What is their salary? Was this a little test? Is this so important? And I could see that as part of the indoctrination, even in my own. Seems like I always knew who our officials were, and it was so important. And that was part of our history in school, this person and that person. And even when I followed current events, I found a self-contrived seeming importance on knowing all the people and control and power. These days I don't know and don't care. And yet this seems to be the beginning of stressing the importance of these positions. And here are a few more pictures. The Palace of Fine Arts, one of my favorites. A grand view of the gallery.
Look at all this shit, man. Like, I just want to illustrate real quick, man. I just want to make sure I'm illustrating that all this that you see right here, all this allegedly was temporarily built out of concrete and steel and iron and granite. It was temporarily built just for the World's Fair and then destroyed afterwards. Do that make any sense, y'all? Do it.
Or the city. The machinery hall, just one of the most mind-blowing.
Look at this. The machinery hall is a huge architectural structure. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy.
Machinery hall. Just a poor title or redesignation. Doesn't even make any sense.
This shouldn't even be named a machine. Fuck that name. This should be the great Aboriginal goddess and God's palace, motherfucker. This is a magnificent structure that y'all fuckers done dug up out the mud after we done went through a mud. Because listen, you got to realize this all happening in the late 1800s. 1876, 1891, 1905. We went through a mud flood in 1806 to 1811. It would have took 40 to 50 years for them to start digging up and finding these structures. So after 40, 50 years, then they start putting together these expos to show off what they found. This is just my theory. That's my theory. That's my theory, that they dug this shit up after the mud flood and then presented to the world that they constructed it. You know what I'm saying? Only to tear that shit down because they didn't want us to see our prior structures that says established in 500 AD. It would have triggered something in our mind that how the fucking, if we was dumb slaves and savages, beasts, how could we build something like that prior to the European getting here? See, this is my theory, man. Seriously.
Sense. This building puts 99% of buildings in the realm to shame. If this building doesn't take your breath away, I don't know what would. If this 99% of buildings wouldn't make any sense. Title or redesignation doesn't even make any sense. This building puts 99% of buildings in the realm to shame.
You hear what he said? He said this building puts 100% of other buildings at this time to shame. That means no matter where you looked around the world, whatever building you went to in any country, any city around the world, any structure would not be able to even come to the fucking close comparison to this building right here. That says it all right there. True masonry. You believe these people put that shit together in 3 years and destroyed it? You got me fucking dipped in. I'll be dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumb if they did that shit. This is a lie, man. This is a lie. If they built this, if they could even build this building in 3 years, I'll be dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs. Facts.
If this building doesn't take your breath away, I don't know what would. Here, the peristyle, whatever that is, not important at all. Completely not having a function, just some arch of triumph. Looking like the Arch of Triumphs all
Man, you don't understand. This was a gateway to an ancient civilization, man.
over the realm, in every city. Looking as legit and authentic as anything of the old world. And without
If y'all feeling this bill, man, support the channel, man. Y'all gotta be. If y'all ain't feeling this bill, I don't know what the hell y'all like. Support the channel. Hit that like button.
stupid story like the World's Fair, we would just assume that it was of the same builders of the old world. The government building. Why do you even need a government building at a World's Fair?
Correct. Why do you need it?
The government building.
Why do you even need a government? That bitch look like something downtown Washington, D.C. right now. That look like some shit downtown Washington, D.C. right now. Come on, man. Come on, man. So they built this shit, that building right here in 18 months and then destroyed it 6 months later. Get the fuck out of here. If y'all feeling that bill, man, drop them fire emojis in the chat, man. If y'all are enjoying the build, drop some fire emojis in the chat, man. Oh, we ain't even done yet. We ain't even done yet. Hold your horses, man. Hold on.
Why do you need a government building at the World's Fair? And the agricultural building in the background and some temporary fountains. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what you think.
Man, listen, we ain't even got, man, listen. A temporary fountain? That's some shit I ain't never even heard of. That's some shit I ain't never even heard of. I don't even know what the fuck a temporary fountain is.
Question.
Oh, man, I hate these motherfucking commercials, man. Straight the fuck up. These commercials ain't shit. I will play y'all shit and give y'all some play, but y'all don't pay me enough, goddamn it. They don't pay me enough. All right, y'all ready? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it.
I have no.
All right, let me put this bitch on widescreen. All right, man, hit that like button, man. Let me shout out to Al TV in the chat, man. Shout out to one of the gods, man, one of the legends in the Aboriginal community, man. Make sure y'all show the brother some love, man. Like I was telling y'all, there will never be another Ab TV, man. Make sure y'all show my brother some love, man. Support the real too, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let me shout out a couple people in the chat, man. Shout out to Ann Manson for the Cash App donation. We appreciate that, Ann Manson. She said, for keep coming with the high power information, aka Empress Freedom Feather. All right, shout out to Sister Freedom Feather, man. We appreciate that. I'm gonna try to keep coming with this high information, man, because it's a piece of our past and this history that's missing that they're not even talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Leonardo. Leonardo said you sent me the Cash App donation. So shout out to Leonardo for supporting the channel and sending in the Cash App donation. He said cause they keep grinding. Yep, that's a fact, bro. You know they do keep grinding, and we gonna keep grinding against it, man. Shout out to he said for the cause and keep grinding. Oh no, my bad. He said for the cause and keep grinding. My bad, y'all. He said for the cause. Shout out to my brother Leonardo, aka Big Dog Philly OG. And he also said peace, my brother. Peace to you too, brother. You know it's all love. You ain't subscribed to Big Dog Philly OG. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Big Dog Philly OG, man. One of the fastest growing up and coming YouTube channels around, man. Go subscribe. Shout out to Dre Cobb Music, man. Shout out to Dre Cobb Music. He said for dope information, man. Shout out to Dre Cobb's Music, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. That's me. Truth over everything. That's me, bro. I don't see you, bro. Where you at? What's truth over everything? What's your name on that, big bro? So I can read them. Are you Leonardo, nigga? No. Hey, truth. You Leonardo? I thought that was Big Dog Philly OG, gang. I'm confused. Shout out to my nigga Truth, man. Shout out to Truth. A lot of people don't know Truth. Truth over everything used to go by Dot. That was my nigga Dot. Determination over trust, nigga. Oh, yeah, that's my government. Leonardo. Leonardo is you? Oh, I didn't know your name was Leonardo, nigga. Oh, that's crazy, fam. Hold on. We about to get back to it, man. We got some shit lined up. Bear with me. But my man Leonardo fucked me up. Oh, nah, I'm confused. All right, listen, peep this, y'all. This how y'all know I'm on the wood. Listen, one of the names said Leonardo, and one of them says Leonard. Leonardo is Big Dog Philly OG. Leonard is truth over everything. Damn, boy, I fucked up. My bad, fam. Next time, just put your little put dot in that motherfucker. I already know who it is, nigga. Shit, oh yeah, I gotta pay attention sometimes. I overread that. All right, let's get it, man. This is the wake and bake, man. Hey, this is the wake and bake, man. Hey, let's get right back into the fire information, man. I ain't even gonna hold y'all.
I do what I'm going to share as structure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to tie it all in together. And this is a new year. And maybe this is how the new year will begin.
Well, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Definitely thumb up the video, support the channel, man. Shout out to Bright Mo Deezy for the cash out donation as well. Shout out to Bright Mo Deezy. Shout out to Bright Mo Deezy. Shout out to Bright Mo Deezy for the cash out donation.
17, but they have a question mark here. So here we go. A general atlas containing maps of each of the United States. So already very interesting. Each of the United States? What are they talking about? And just beautiful. The artwork. Something about this old artwork really reminding me of the artists that made the money, especially the bills. To this day, the art and the flowery patterns around these bills, still in circulation today, but that come from times of old, is absolutely impressive, seeming to be done by a computer. And here again, I can see why they put a question mark. It's handwritten 1816, or in parentheses 1817, and looking like it's had some coffee spilt on it, or maybe some white wine. And here they say geography is admitted to be, of all sciences, one of the most pleasing, and at the same time the most useful. It is of almost universal concern. Persons of every rank and situation in life.
So this video is talking about ancient technology, whether it's Atlantis, Amaru, or Tartar. So we're gonna get into some of this shit right now, man. We're gonna get into some of this shit. Let's get into
And then we have the Western Hemisphere. Much of the Amazon charted out, and the Great Lakes are here. California no longer an island. Still calling this region of what I believe is Utah, Quivera, one of the cities.
You heard how he said California is no longer an island. Listen to this.
Are here. California no longer an island.
You know why he said that, right? You know why he said that, right? I'm gonna tell you why, right? The reason he said California ain't an island is because there's maps of California having an island like this. See, a lot of people ain't gonna tell you California was an island. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna show you the map. They gonna reflate. They gonna try to redo the map and do the hoodoo on you. Nah, we're gonna give it right. That's really part of the Pacific. So let's get back to it, man. I just want to highlight that.
Still calling this region of what I believe is Utah, Quivera, or one of the cities of gold. Here we see Drake's Harbor, which becomes San Francisco, or Sir Francis Drake's land, and Catalina, and many of these chained lakes that on other maps actually connect to the Mississippi and allow.
Yep, a lot of these other rivers connect to the Mississippi. A lot of these other rivers connect to the Mississippi, even all the way up here in motherfucking Canada. The Mississippi flows from the Gulf of Mexico upwards towards Canada. It doesn't go downward and dump off. They get in it comes in through the Gulf. You understand me? You got to understand that Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and places like South Carolina, North Carolina, these are highland areas. These are mountain areas. These are higher elevated areas than Detroit, than places in Canada, than New York, Connecticut, Chicago. They're higher elevation, even though they're southern. And they're, into our perspective, they're in higher elevation than the northern region. So in technicality, when you go from Tennessee to Detroit, you're literally going down in elevation. So that's just technical talk.
Now for river travel from the west to the east of the nation. And Greenland just always connected to the North Pole, this landmass, always connecting. And here this is titled Mercator's Chart. And again, you see what I'm talking about, the landmass just continuing. This will show up a lot, the Blue River and the Colorado, and calling this region New Albion. We still see Santa Fe. So
hold on, you can't just skip New what?
Region New Albion.
New Albion. Look up right now. Stop your phone, pull out your phone. Albion is Europe. That's Britain. That's ancient Europe. Why is it called New Albion? The place that we call Britain today, before it was called Britain, it was called Albion. And it was for the cliffs of the white doziers and the white tips. And they saying that this place out in Colorado was called Albion. And what's in Colorado? They have white tips on the mountain from the ice and the snow. This is really crazy. Now that's crazy. That's crazy right there.
We still and calling this region New Albion. We still see Santa Fe. So again, what I thought was interesting is this was called Maps of Each of the United States. So it's as if all of these
maps of each of the United States, as if it was different United States. Interesting. Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all can see everything loud and clear and hear everything loud and clear. Man, let's keep this shit going, y'all. Support the channel, man. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 130 likes in the building, you guys.
States. So it's as if all of these nations that we now call nations were once comprised of different factions and perhaps have been unified very recently. So, for example, calling China the United States of China. And here we go, just unifying all of these regions into one. And how about Tartary? Here we go. And again, the same writing, as if the map makers were also the artists.
Yeah, all right. I got you, big dog. Khalil Finch, man. Y'all got me doing all the technical work, man. Y'all know I'm not the technical guy, but I got you. Links to the video will be in the description box. Links to all the videos will be in the description box for every video that you've seen. Share them, live them. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel, though. You know what I mean? Come here and get it, man. You're going to have to go. The links will be in the description box.
In charge of making the currency on the bills that would be used for at least 100 years. So here they're calling this Chinese Tartary. Here we can see Korea spelled with a C, and Tartary just completely populated. All these dots being cities. Compared to Korea, we just see a couple cities. Much more activity here in Chinese Tartary. And here we see Mongolia. So Chinese and Mongolian Tartary. And up here we have Siberia. And up here we see independent Tartary. Uzbeks down here. Turkmenians up here. The Kyrgyz Lesser Horde. No
independent Tartary would have been the imperial sector. It would have been the imperial branch. They would have been up under a different flag and nation and government. All right. When we get into this, they would have been getting output information from a whole nother sector than these people. And when you get into it, they was getting it from the Americas. We're gonna get into that.
Doubt, a nation, a people, the cities along the rivers and near the lakes. And once in my research, I came across something telling me that the capital of Tartaria was called Sellingham. And I've lost that tidbit of research, but I'm always looking for Sellingham.
Sellingham, nigga. Sellingham. Nigga was selling pigs.
These maps.
Pork chop heaven. Yeah.
And here we can see Lake Sellingham, perhaps. Maybe I'm not far. Do let me know if you've come across that. And maybe this video is getting boring. Let's look at something else. This is a collinear antenna, modern, this one. Folded dipole arrays. A directional antenna consisting of 4 collinear Yagi beam antennas. And here we can see a nice diagram of the frequencies. And we can compare this with any building of the old world. Take the Kölner Dom Cathedral in Germany and all the nubs along the surface area of the building serving as the same function. And there was a great experiment recently where someone takes a copper wire and sends it up with his drone about 100 feet and hooks up a voltage meter to this wire, and sure enough is able to gather electricity for free from the ether, from the air. And the higher you go, the greater the voltage. Hence why to this day towers are placed as high as possible. And even in the old world, if it was just for form and not function, they would have never built towers on all these buildings, 100, 200, 300 feet tall, unless it had a purpose. And really, a lot of people talk about free energy and when will we have free energy, but I think the truth is we have it now. Again, all this radio, internet, and Wi-Fi is all free energy. It's just not being utilized in a liberating way, liberating for the people. It's being used to just charge and enslave us These very devices, sending wireless energy to and fro, unfortunately, are running programs that are indoctrinating the people and not liberating them. Even myself, I've talked about how I use solar power, and this is just gathering free energy from the sun. Just one example. Nikola Tesla made a instrument that would gather electricity both day and night, and it involved a wrapped copper coil both above and below the ground, and in the center one could tap into free energy. He applied for the patent, we are told, and was refused, even though he had working models. And recently, Matt of Quantum of Conscience was talking about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. He made a whole video on it and brought up some good points. And what I wanted to touch on was one of his questions. Why was this particular ruin so important? I mean, everybody knows about this tower in Italy by the time they're in the 6th grade. They really push this baby in school. I mean, as we've seen, with all the thousands and thousands of exquisite buildings and towers that we could explore throughout the realm, they really push this Tower of Pisa. And Matt was asking why. And my answer to that is because it's crooked. They want to show us that the old world was stupid and that they built this tower either crooked initially or eventually it began to sink. And I think that's why they push this story of Pisa in the curriculum. So we'll look at these wonders in a less than superior light. If they can convince us that the Tower of Pisa was built inferior, then we might believe that all the structures of the old world were equally inferior. And the truth is, it kind of worked on me in my youth. And in reality, with the research that we do in this community, nothing could be further from the truth. And this Tower of Pisa is clearly simply the victim of a reset and what we would call a mud flood or liquefaction of the soil caused by great frequencies. We see something similar with one of the two famous towers in
Look at that shit. Totally damn near covered up in mud, yo. That's crazy.
Bologna, the one next to the Asinelli Tower. And yet this event can be seen in America as well as every part of the realm. And when
Yo, they just built on top of it like it was this shit right here. Let's run that back. Look at this. This is somebody's regular door today, but then you skip to that, and that's what the fuck was on the bottom? A whole nother ancient structure? That's fucking wild.
And yet this event can be seen in America as well as every part of the realm. And when we begin to do research into America, we find that North America was victim to one of the greatest.
Damn, look at this. Brick roads in the 1800s split in half. Look at this cart falling in. Evidence of a disaster. At least, if this not evidence of a disaster, this is at least evidence of the aftershock. You know, the aftershock of a 9.5 Richter earthquake. You know what I'm saying? Triggering certain flood, breaking certain gates. You know what I mean? Causing these mud floods from these highland mountain areas, man. Some shit right here. Drop them fire emojis, man.
Earthquakes of all time. The New Madrid earthquake. This earthquake was said to have reshaped the landscape overnight, causing the Mississippi to flow backwards, lakes and
look, there's some shit that gotta be like in the Midwest, Northeast area. Look at these row homes.
canyons forming in an instant. And yet, this is very interesting that this was not taught in school. Most people that you talk to have never
look like they just dug this motherfucker out.
Heard of the New Madrid earthquake. And I think anytime people that you talk to have never heard of the New Madrid earthquake, and I think
yeah, a lot of people had never heard of the New Madrid earthquake. But guess what? We talk about the New Madrid earthquake that happened in 1808, and that he sits after shocks all the way to 1811, giving a component of the first start to destroy our evidence, which happened in the war that they call 1812, the war with no bodies. the war with no deaths. It was just destroying of structures. Let's talk about it.
Anytime we're dealing with earthquakes and comets of the past, we're dealing with the reset. And next, because I'm under no pressure to make a good video, I'm going to show you what I bought at the antique shop. This is a vintage brass door stopper. As we can see on the side here, I paid $7.50 and thought it resembled some kind of tech. In fact, that was my only purpose. I was looking for either old books or magazines or some kind of tech. And of course, if we found some tech, nobody would recognize it as tech. Just like the different ornaments found in front of the antique fireplaces. And let me just show you a picture of that. This was shared with me via my P.O. box, and I thank you for this. An excellent example of anything but a fireplace.
I don't even know if that's even a motherfucking fireplace, gang. That look like some magnificent shit. Like, I ain't never even seen no motherfucking, I ain't never seen no fireplace look that goddamn immaculate in the nigga house. Like, goddamn.
But back to my door, and sure of that, this was shared with me via my P.O. box, and I thank you for this. An excellent example of anything but a fireplace. But back to my door stopper, this may have been something similar to what we see in front of the Antiquitech fireplaces. And what a stupid thing to just shove such a beautiful piece of ornamentation on the floor to hold your door open. I could think of a million things that would keep my door open, and none of them have this shape. And I think in the old world they would have just repurposed everything, and after a while people would just start calling things by their new names. And this thing became a door stopper made of pure brass. And next I want to finish up with something that
this building looked like it was covered up in mud. Look at it. This shit looked like it was covered up in mud.
I shared in my last video, this natatorium in Helena, Montana. It's been demolished now, but it stood from 1889 to 1941. They tell us it was the most important example of Moorish architecture in the Northwest. It housed the largest...
What kind of architecture, my boy? Shout out the Root Words. Rudy Root, you heard that?
1889 to 1941. They tell us it was the most important example of Moorish architecture in the Northwest. It housed the largest indoor pool in the world, 300 feet by 100.
Oh, that's some player shit. That nigga had the largest indoor swimming pool in the world. That's crazy.
Housed the largest indoor pool in the world, 300 feet by 1/2. The most important example of Moorish architecture in the Northwest. It housed the largest indoor pool in the world, 300 feet by 100 feet. That is a monster. And it was a hot spring pool. The waters were delivered via redwood pipes from the...
It was a hot spring pool, and it was coming straight from out the earth, pumping it straight into. Come on, man, that's some advanced ass shit, and they gonna turn that shit down. Oh, these rabid bastards. Oh man, y'all hear this? Am I bugging? Am I bugging the fuck out? Did y'all hear this?
In the world, 300 feet by 100 feet. That is a monster. And it was a hot spring pool. The waters were delivered via redwood pipes from the source 1.5 miles away. Over 1 million gallons per day of hot and cold mountain spring water flowed through this building.
Bruh, they set up a pipe system 1.5 miles away from a hot spring and a natural cold spring that fed into the fucking swimming pool. Get the fuck out of here. That sounds amazing, nigga. That sounds like Ocean World, nigga. Goddamn. What? Delivered by redwood pipes, nigga. I didn't know you can make wooden pipes, nigga. I didn't know you can make wooden pipes, nigga. How the fuck can they compete for the pressure? How do they pressurize the wood? Like, now I'm talking carpenter talk now, nigga. This shit's amazing. Am I just tripping or is this shit not amazing? If y'all think this shit is amazing, drop a fire emoji in the chat. Let me know, man. Support the channel. This is a crazy one. And I got another one lined up right after this, man. I'm gonna cap it off with another one, man. You know I give y'all 3 of them things.
Via redwood pipes. From the source is a hot spring pool. The waters were delivered via redwood pipes from the source 1.5 miles away. Over 1 million gallons per day of hot and cold mountain spring water flowed through this building. And here again we can see how out of place this thing looks in the mountains of Montana, back when we should have cowboys and ranches. Here look.
Facts. I was just not about to say that. This is a building, concrete structure, indoor swimming pool. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of Montana, in the west, during the time where cowboys and saloons was happening. Nigga, they was living in wooden shacks and shit, going in and out of bars, riding cowboy shit, nigga. You mean to tell me they got a laboratory that you can go in like the ancient YMCA on steroids? Nigga probably got a gym in that bitch, an Olympic swimming pool. You know what I'm saying? That's like the YMCA today, man. It's like a national fitness center, nigga. What the fuck? That's crazy, man. That's wild, man. This is my first time watching this video, by the way. So we all watching this shit for the first time. That's why I keep pausing it, because this shit is amazing, man. And I just got to add my commentary on it, man. A lot of people don't like it. If you don't like it, y'all can just go watch it on your own. Fuck. But this shit is amazing, though, man. Like it really, I'm really like I'll be shocked. Like I'm really like, yo. That's some amazing ass shit, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And here again we can see how out of place this thing looks in the mountains of Montana, back when we should have cowboys and ranches. Here, looking to the southeast, for mysterious death and burial of the architect. Who cares? He was involved in a scandal involving the construction of the Montana Capitol building, which we've looked at before. Again, the work of cowboys. And as if it's not enough to have such a building in the mountains of Montana, apparently they had a trolley. And these patrons, seen here, are simply waiting for the trolley. Here we can see the stunning entrance of this natatorium, looking like a cathedral.
This is some great architecture. And you mean to tell me this shit was built in the 1800s? Come on, man. You gotta cut the bullshit, man. Look at these whack ass buildings today. They don't got no type of class, no type of artists and artistes and artistic and masonry to them. They just plain as hell. Look at these ancient buildings. You mean to tell me that the farther you go back, they tell you that the dumber they was. But when we look at the evidence of what's back, they way more advanced than what we are now. Like, come on, man. We can't keep letting these people lie to us, man. It's like they done put their arm around your neck like fucking Debo did Craig, and they choking you. And they choked our ass down there to sleep with lies and indoctrination. Flat out. It's like they done put a metaphorically arm around your thought and mind and choked you the fuck out. That's crazy, gang. That's crazy. It's like they roofied you with the information. They roofied us with the information and took advantage of us. Damn. They need to give the motherfucking government R. Kelly years, nigga. They done roofied us with the information and then took advantage of us, nigga. Damn.
Just look at the size of this thing. Everything in the past was the world's biggest this and that. This is the world's largest natatorium, or hot springs, looking like a cathedral. And why would you tear such a thing down? To this day, there is so much space in Montana. And here is the picture I showed in my last video. The interior of this building. Now, does this really...
That's that building that they said had the world's largest swimming pool in it. Now look how beautiful this fucking swimming pool area is. And this is in the 1800s, bro. They destroyed it in the 1900s. Come on, man. Look how amazing this shit is, man. That shit is magnificent. Can we give the word magnificent to this shit? Mind you, it got wooden pipes feeding this pool coming from a natural hot spring and cold spring to add on to the magnificent architecture built around it. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, y'all.
Really look like the work of 1800s cowboys in Montana. Here we can see a look at a very early photograph, and this thing is big enough to hold a submarine.
Man, that water fuck around, heal your body so motherfucking good. You jump in there, huh? Fuck around, take a little sip of that and be old as hell. Live to be 277 years old. You know what I'm saying? Fuck around, have a kid at 100 years old. Fuck with that water. Fuck around, have some kids at age 100. At 100, nigga. Fuck around with that water, boy.
Rain, reminding me of stories in Nevada of lakes in the middle of the desert owned by the military that are said to connect to the ocean in the middle of Nevada. And such a sight brings me back to those stories. Now, they tell us at one point it was up to 12 feet, but we also see a picture where it appears to have been filled in, and like I said, eventually demolished. Here is the former site, and here a look from above in 1953. And also really reminding me of the Sutro baths in San Francisco that eventually burned down, we're told. And I don't think this had anything to do with bathing. This also really reminds me of the Salt Palace, or the Saltaire in Salt Lake City. Again, we saw the entryway of this building looking like, or the Saltaire in Salt Lake City.
Hold on. Y'all ain't just gonna tell me they had a saltwater pool palace. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's go and call it what it is, nigga. You ain't gonna tell me they had a saltwater pool palace in Salt Lake City, Utah, nigga, in the 1800s, nigga. You ain't just gonna skip by that and just be like, nah, yeah, they had that. Boom, let's get to the next. No, hell no, cuz. Slow your motherfucker. This shit's amazing, man. I can't even get by a fraction of a second without saying, damn. And you can tell, look at the buildings. Look how they turning green, the domes. You know what I'm saying? You see how the domes right here is turning like a greenish color, and this is a rendition, right? Mind you, them bitches in earliest use, you know what I'm saying? Before the weathering, them bitches probably was copper than a motherfucker. Them bitches probably shine for miles with a bronze color to that bitch.
Again, we saw the entryway of this building looking like a cathedral, but also reminding me of some kind of a circus tent, but a permanent one, both with the Saltaire and this natatorium. And
don't worry, Cayennes, because guess what? That is Judah, Utah, Salt Lake City. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you that ancient Rome was in America, and that this was one of the highland factors. That's why it seemed weird, because Montana ain't got shit going on now. You don't even know a nigga that live in Montana. Name one nigga that you know live in Montana in the chat. Be real. Be real. Name one nigga you know live in Montana. I'll shut the fuck up. All right. So listen, nobody you know live in Montana, but they got all these great structures and they got all this empty space. And we're gonna talk about it because this shit is ancient. It was an ancient headquarters, it was a hot spot, it was a large city. It was a lot of traction there. There's a lot of people going in and out. And we're gonna do that on my next bill, man. The next bill is Rome in America, man. Don't ancient Rome was America. Like, we're gonna get into it, man. Don't hey. So I got heat, man. Look, don't and listen. I want everybody to know this right now. This is my 21st, this is my 21 day in a row bill. Tomorrow will be 22 if I go live tomorrow. This 21 days in a row, y'all. Support the channel, man. Hit that like button, support the channel, man. I come with heat. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish.
In Montana, and I think the cheap, disposable circus tent was somewhat modeled after these types of buildings. And unfortunately, they would call these types of buildings temporary and tear them down. Again, the water, we're told this is the largest pool in North America, and really lending to the idea that the
largest pool in North America. And it was they talking about this was a temporary building. A temporary building in the 1800s when you got niggas living outside in tents in cowboy areas, but you're gonna destroy a perfectly good what could be a hotel or some shit. Come on, man. That don't even make no fucking sense. What they do with the water, gang?
this is the largest pool in North America, and really lending to the idea that the water played a part in this machine. For what device, I don't know.
Oh, he's saying that this building was an engine building, and it produced energy for the area. Oh, steam, electricity. Okay. Now we getting somewhere with it. Now we talking, big dog.
For what purpose, I don't know. Perhaps just pumping water around in the circuit board. And last, I just wanted to show this Royal Palace of Cambodia real quick. This is the building that we've all enjoyed viewing so much that seems to be still active. And I don't know if it's possible, but I just wanted to see if we could get some clues as to what's going on with this building. For the most part, I've only seen that video.
Yeah, like you
and
said,
it clearly
big
seemed
bruh.
to possible, but I just wanted to see if we could get some clues.
Like you said, a power plant. That's what that was, an ancient power plant, bruh. Like a nuclear building, bruh. It's an ancient factory fucking power plant, bruh.
As to what's going on with this building. For the most part, I've only seen that video, and it clearly seems to be putting off or gathering electrical energy from.
Listen, man, we're gonna end this. We're gonna end that live stream right there. We're gonna get right into the next one, gang. We're gonna get right into the next one, man. We're gonna end it off with this one. Y'all ready? If y'all ready, drop them fire emojis. I need to know if y'all ready. If y'all ready, drop them fire emojis. I need y'all to drop them fire emojis for me. A Sizzy. I need y'all to drop them fire emojis for me. A Sizzy. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, man, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, man. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you ain't following me on Instagram, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at the bottom right of the screen by the grizzly bear. Big Aboriginal Power. You feel me? It's big _Aboriginal _power. Y'all want to support the channel, Cash App tags at the bottom right of the screen as well. Let's get right back into this fire ass build I got lined up. Let's close it out. Drop them fire emojis.
I recently saw a video, and he was talking about how meditation invites evil, and it may, but it may not. I think it depends on what you're meditating on. If you're imagining a bunch of things, bringing energy into this area or that, or imagining colors, it may be dangerous. If you were a person of God, then I think there'd be nothing wrong with meditating on God and connecting with the highest of high. I think they would call this prayer, a very fine line. But truly the idea of sitting down to meditate, as if it's something that's just done once in a while, is pretty ridiculous. One of my favorite philosophers, Lao Tzu.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you how ley lines is real, because I just picked up on a new phenomenon that science has been studying. They ain't even been talking about it. They've been studying cow fields. I know y'all like, why the fuck they studying cow fields? Because cows are magnetically inclined to find and follow energy. If you didn't know that all cows in a pasture face the same direction, how y'all ever noticed that? Go look up any videos of cows in a pasture. They all face the same direction. It's because they all face where the electrical magnetic grid is facing, or what they call magnetic north, or the magnetic wave frequency. They always find it. They always tend to find it. Their head is always in the direction of. Look it up. That's a scientific phenomenon that they studying right now. I just want to add that in, y'all. Let's get it. Cows do. Look at them. Look at them right here. You ain't even notice that they all facing the same goddamn direction right now. Listen, man, I'm just gonna give y'all some game, man. People don't understand why you was considered a cowboy. See, we're gonna get into the science of that too. That might be a whole nother bill. We're gonna give y'all the true understanding, the ancient meaning of why you was a cowboy and what the cows represent when it comes to electronic magnetic energies and tracking it in the fields. Man, let's continue, man. If y'all feeling this already and ain't even got into it, drop the fire emojis.
It's pretty ridiculous. One of my favorite philosophers, Lao Tzu, said something along the lines that meditating was stupid and would only serve to narrow the mind. He said, if you want to meditate, go do it in the marketplace. And I agree. I think in our present culture and time, everything has been fractured, separated. Things that were once part of the...
Look at this shit. This look like an ancient city inside of a motherfucking mountain. This look like an ancient motherfucking city inside of a mountain, y'all. Look at that shit. Carved out like little houses and shit. Like, and it's up in a mountain area. Maybe they live there during the Great Flood. Maybe this is antediluvian shit that we looking at. Maybe this is pre-flood shit right here. Damn. And maybe this was the poverty area of the pre-flood. Maybe this was the lower class people of a pre-flood. Think about it. It's always been levels in society. You had your low, your mid, and your high level society people. Maybe this was the low society people. Niggas living in Section 8 in the mountains, nigga.
The whole people go to the gym to take care of their bodies for an hour a day. They go to the church for the spirit once a week. And when it comes to meditation, they sit in a corner for up to an hour a day, quieting their minds. We would hope, but really all these things should be done constantly. The idea of living a more full...
Look at all them cows. What direction? They all facing the same goddamn direction, fam. Look at them. That's real shit, man.
Life would integrate these things into every moment. They would not be reserved for a certain time of day or week or year, such as...
Yeah, those them low income houses, nigga. You see them bitches put inside of the mountain. Like, this is, you know what I mean, the regular cribs right here. You know what I mean? That was low income, fam. Don't do that. We wasn't, you know what I mean? Everybody wasn't living low income, fam. Facts. And shout out to my ancient low income niggas. That's the shit we need for to put together our history, man. We know ain't nothing new under the sun.
Thanksgiving. So I hope you're all doing well. I thank you for joining me. As always, this video is brought to you by me. If you're interested in great coffee, I can recommend my favorite blend for the last 25 years. It's roasted in Salt Lake City and contains a blend of Tanzania, Sumatra, and Guatemala. Don't take my word for it, just check out these reviews on Amazon. It's also a great way to support the channel. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below. With that said, welcome. And sometimes we make a recording because we're inspired, and other times it's just so that we can close these windows that we've had open on our desktop for way too long. Let's start today's exploration with Fort Jefferson, one of my favorite American examples of artificial land. Here they call it an unfinished coastal fortress, and is the largest brick masonry structure in the Americas, composed of over 16 million bricks. The building covers 16 acres. The only forts that are larger are Fort Monroe in Virginia, again another star fort, and Fort Adams in Rhode Island. This particular Fort Jefferson is located in the lower Florida Keys, within the dry Tortuga National Park. And we can see that here. Let's zoom out just to show you how perfectly out of the way it is, why this would be the most difficult place to build a fort in an early time period, especially a fort that requires 16 million bricks. Just to give you an idea, we are told that the Empire State Building required 10 million bricks. And in an early time period, around 1885, they tell us up to 36,000 bricks could be produced in a week. By 1925, with brick making machines, they were able to produce 12,000 bricks a day. But this is before the brick making machine. This is out on some island and happens to be the largest brick masonry structure in the Americas. Construction began in 1824. 1824. How long did this structure take to build? 1 year. Officially 1825 to 1826. And that's our history. In 1825, in 1 year, they ship 16 million bricks to this little island. I mean, a tiny island, barely large enough to hold this building. And of course, this story is completely ridiculous and impossible. This is a star fort, or whatever's left of it, from the old world. Let's try to put ourselves in 1825. Ah, yes. Really, I don't think these men have worked a day in their lives. In their little shiny shoes and tights. How about this picture? This is more like it. 1825. This could be an army, a construction crew, or a group of tourists on the way to the World's Fair. And we have to be realistic. If these are the timelines they give us, these are the means to all of these ends. And people with these means do not attempt things like this. Typically are going to stick to the main.
Look, they ain't even gonna talk about this shit. Look at these. These are islands, brick islands, not no sandy bull. These are brick islands in America. Have y'all ever been told about brick islands in America? Nigga, that's Atlantis, nigga. Nigga, that's Atlantis, nigga. Brick islands, nigga.
Inland and keep things nice and simple. This is not nice and simple. Building in the water where no
building in the water, like think about it. A brick mansion, though. Think about this shit.
Is not nice and simple. Building in the water where no resources exist is the most difficult thing you could do. And this is a glimpse of old America. So what is all this stuff really? The mainstream wants to tell us everything was created as a fortification for defense in wars fought with cannons and balls. All this and things like this, and even things like this, out on little islands off the coast of Florida. And oftentimes, they place cannons all around them to help sell this narrative. And really, this seems like machinery, some kind of mechanical function, almost seeming as if someone has the ability to open and close valves, adjusting the waters.
Come on, man. A brick city. A brick city, y'all. Come on, man. That's like Atlantis, bro. That's like Atlantis, bro. This shit is pre-flood shit.
level. Here we can see an artificial island on the other side of the realm, not too far from the city of Copenhagen, and we examined that recently, right here. And this is just some little island. We could do this with any little random island, just like we did with Fort Jefferson by Florida. But this one is called the Flak Fortet, and completely an artificial island with a nice artificial wall protecting it. Perfect spacing and mathematics involved. Let's zoom in a little closer and you can see what this consists of. Again, they would tell us it's a fort, and we even see fort in the name. But what is this really? Again, these are what I often call...
Come on, man. We gotta stop saying like, nigga, we know what this is. This is like some pre-flood civilization shit. Niggas just don't build on the water, gang. Seriously. That's crazy.
Plug holes, or they could be valves, and we see these on all fortifications. And this is exactly the spot where they would set cannons to try to tell us that's what the original purpose was for. But in this case, we see no cannons. I don't think they're concerned with selling any kind of narrative out here. And very anomalous.
Man, come on, man. These are islands, man. It's an ancient island, man. There was a motherfucker probably had guns and shit right there, boy. Dad's probably had energy grids right there, columns or some shit right there. Towers where you overlook the whole Bay Area. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? But real talk. If y'all feeling this bill, man, drop them fire emojis in the channel, man. Hit that like button and support the channel. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to send a donation, man, the information is ticking at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all hit that like button and share the live stream. If you're new to the channel, man, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, man, for all your latest updates and notifications to Aboriginal Power live streams, man. Let's go.
From my perspective, everything is going to be found underground here. And all of this is mechanical, in my opinion, whether still functional or in disrepair. And as we just saw recently in a past...
This nigga said this area probably had a building there that controlled the water around it, that could raise the levels and lower the levels. Now, that's crazy. Yeah, I ain't even hear my man say that. Let me run that back a little bit, because my man said that. Let's run that back.
In the water, where no resources exist, is the most difficult thing you could do. And this is a glimpse of old America. So what is all this stuff really? The mainstream wants to tell us everything was created as a fortification for defense in wars fought with cannons and balls. All this and things like this, and even things like this, out on little islands off the coast of Florida. And oftentimes they place cannons all around them to help sell this narrative. And really, this seems like machinery, some kind of mechanical function, almost seeming as if someone has the ability to open and close valves, adjusting the water's level. Here we can see an artificial island on the other side of the realm, not too far from the city of Copenhagen, and we examined that recently, right here. And this is just some little island. We could do this with any little random island, just like we did with Fort Jefferson by Florida. But this one is called the Flak Fortet, and completely an artificial island with a nice artificial wall protecting it. Perfect spacing and mathematics involved. Let's zoom in a little closer and you can see what this consists of. Again, they would tell us it's a fort, and we even see fort in the name. But what is this really? Again, these are what I often call plug holes, or they could be valves, and we see these on all fortifications. And this is exactly the spot where they would set cannons to try to tell us that's what the original purpose was for. But in this case, we see no cannons. I don't think they're concerned with selling any kind of narrative out here. And very anomalous. From my perspective, everything is going to be found underground here. And all of this is mechanical, in my opinion, whether still functional or in disrepair. And as we just saw recently in a past video, the work of Gary Shunung and his Old Earth Ruins series, these circles appear to be everywhere, foundational in the realm. This time the coordinates should definitely come in. And here I believe we're in Vietnam. And what we see are these amazing, perfect canals in Vietnam, way beyond the needs and abilities of these people, as we can see the sparsity of the population and the simplicity. These canals are clearly part of the old grid. And in my last video, I talked about the raking of the earth, or what I thought looked like that. And I think in Sylvie's video, she titled them Ancient Canals. And can you imagine the city seeming as if you can see a slight impression of what used to remain? Just the faintest impression. And he has one short video devoted exclusively to Peru, and I thought we'd just run through that real quick.
Oh, yeah, I seen that theory where they said that in Peru, the Nazca lines is actually evidence of ancient canal systems. Which I thought about, it's like it's a desert area, and historically, most desert areas before disaster or climate change or whatever happened was an oasis. It's usually a watered area, much like the Grand Canyon and other places like that. So when I think about it, I'm like, damn, that makes sense. Maybe the Nazca lines is ancient evidence of an ancient canal river system of some sort.
And it's kind of nice he takes us along the lines. And this is what started my whole understanding of this complex network or grid. Out here in Peru, it's so clear, without any interfering thoughts that man may have created this. This part of Peru could not be any more remote. And just in this picture alone, we not only see this runway, but all sorts of other little patterns shooting off of it, even a spiral scene down here. And this is just massive. And I can see why the inheritors turned them into airports. But what were they really? Blasting through the terrain at different elevations and still achieving these perfectly straight lines. And some have proposed that they mimic what is above, perhaps like some maps, or just a byproduct.
Hey man, before we get ready to finish up, man, I do want to say, I do want to take a quick 60-second break. And I want y'all to hit the like button, support the channel. Make sure y'all follow the Black Digital Dollar and some of the other promoted things on the screen. So make sure y'all support the channel, hit the like button. We're gonna be back in the next 60 seconds, man. Make sure y'all support the channel.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, how I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the gods of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made.
All right, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's continue the rest of this live stream. Hit that like button, thumb up the video. Make sure y'all can go support the Black Digital Dollar. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my brother Aboriginal TV. And let's continue the live stream, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the chat that's tuning in to Aboriginal Power Platform, man. We lit in here, man. We are lit, man. Shout out to the notification gang. Shout out to everybody in the chat that support the channel and share the live stream. Let's get it. Shout out to everybody.
An energetic signature And here's a picture of Salt Lake City Temple, still under construction, or I should say renovation. And they just keep revealing more. It really looks like we can see an opening down here. Looks like an opening here, and they've just stuck a piece of wood here to block it off. And mind you, this is about 30 plus feet below ground level.
This is 30 feet. This right here is 30 feet below already. So what's up under here? Come on, man. It's like they building on top of this. This ancient ruins. They keep on revealing more. Look at that. Like a fucking doorway right there.
And I'm just fascinated with seeing all of this massive equipment of giant machinery being used just to do renovation. And we're told this temple was done without any machinery, besides perhaps some steam implements, but nothing like this. Look at the size of this machine, and excavators just as large, just to clear out the dirt to do these repairs. And we're told all this dirt would have been cleared out with horse and wagon through rain, sleet, snow, and hail. And a real blessing, these renovations, just proving how ridiculous the idea that this could have been done by early pioneer settlers. No shortage of photos all over the internet of this evidence, and very exciting. So the most beautiful buildings, the Romanesque revival, structures blossoming at our lowest point in history. Following the mainstream narrative, this makes no sense. So many famines and catastrophes, great fires, plagues such as the Black Plague or death, and all kinds of crazy aerial activity such as comets and black and red balls falling from the sky. And we have depictions of this in the old world, leading me to believe that this is the end of one age and the beginning of another, perhaps around 1300. And this would also be the end of the construction of anything glorious. Everything would be a quick decline in quality at this point. This would be the beginning of the inheritors and the survivors of the reset. And it would take clear up to the 1900s before man would be unified to some extent, able to construct what they want and utilize technology and give everything that man would need to live a better life. Yet unfortunately, that would not be part of their plan. Once the standard of living was elevated post-reset, we were tricked into slavery. All land being owned, the people would be forced to work to get jobs in order to pay for housing. Because again, the land was owned privately and in some instances federally. Until the land was taken away, it was hard to get people to work a job, to do the bidding of another. But once the land was taken away, it was very easy. Everybody was homeless, unless you were willing to pay and to work. And now it is very easy to divide the people. The people would no longer act as one. They act as individuals, trying to succeed in the game that they were born into. The work to pay game, the never-ending game, if you play by their rules. By their rules. I thank you for joining me, and do have a blessed. From what I understand of alchemy, it simply mimics the process of God, and this of course has been secret and forbidden knowledge, at least in our short timeline. Somebody not wanting the masses to understand this, and has been kept in secret societies and certain texts. And I hate secrets. However, in this case, I'm not sure, because I have not been told this. I've only read the works of Fulcanelli, and also, before that, ancient Taoist texts. And really, ancient Taoist texts opening my eyes to this alchemy, and Fulcanelli just making sense of it all, in my mind. And most people think it's about making gold, and I think this is a byproduct of the process, but a very superficial part of it. And this is both a talk on alchemy and parenthood, and ultimately life. In the process of parenthood, a man essentially plants a seed in the woman, the earth, and without anything more, an alchemical process takes place. No intelligence required from either participants or parents, no special skills. This whole process will happen without any more involvement than their initial exchange. Usually this exchange has nothing to do with the final result. The exchange is done for personal reasons, and the byproduct is a creation in which the participants know nothing about. The greatest miracle in life. The sperm and the egg form into a body of over 1 trillion cells done by an intelligent design. Again, the participants need only eat and sleep, and this process will continue. A process that can't be replicated artificially. A process that could only be attributed to an intelligence such as God. And this creation we could attribute to the philosopher's stone, so sought after by the beginning alchemist. And the alchemist is now looking to replicate creation. Maybe not completely, but somehow participate in this magic of creation. And in alchemy, at least the alchemy that Fulcanelli speaks of, will only have one participant. And he will give forth his part. In Taoism, this would be called Jing, or the essence. And this essence holds the spark of life, the spark of God. And rather than create another life form, or at least a human life form, the alchemist will create an artificial egg, or just...
And that's it, man. I'm going to end the video right there, man. Somebody asked a good question in the chat. I wonder if the flood of the Bible caused the mud flood. Yeah, absolutely, because the flood of the Bible is recent. All recorded history that we know of today, think of anything you know of historically that's taught about in school. All recorded history happened after the 1500s, after 1492. All recorded history known to man. Dinosaurs, Jesus being assassinated, Rome, Incas, Mayans, Jesuits, Sumeria, Egypt, all this shit happened after the 1500s. Our timeline is totally discombobulated, but I'm here to try to help restore it and also to comb back the layers that's been covered up over our history and missing, you know what I mean? Our missing perspective of what really went on, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If y'all enjoyed the build, drop some fire emojis in the chat. If y'all really enjoyed the build, hit the Cash App information and support the channel, man. With that being said, man, we about to get ready to get out of here. Peace to all the American Aborigines that came through and supported the channel. Make sure y'all be safe on your daily commute. Make sure y'all be aware. Make sure y'all stay vigilant. Make sure y'all stay dangerous. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, and we out.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right now is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with Dylan, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern, I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, trippin' making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern, I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lord, see, I